like Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian, Jeff Bezos, and you see their lives, you see their lifestyles, and you think, flip, I'm not doing anything. I'm not working hard enough.
What does it actually mean to work smarter and not harder? Well, it means being more...
Especially, shall I say, in the Gen Z kind of culture, there's a big thing on hustle culture. Hustle hard. Like you're seeing entrepreneurs like from 11 months old selling sweets.
And just asking yourself, is it sustainable? How long can I keep going like this before I burn out? Like, we know it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
They told us hustle harder. They told us work until you're dead. They told us to outwork everyone, and that isn't necessarily the case. But what if the serious, actual, real hustle is working smarter, being better, being more efficient than everyone else that there is?
Right now, people are more exhausted, broke, and they're sacrificing their mental health for jobs that they don't even care about. They're not lazy, they're just waking up like zombies doing things that they don't want to do.
Today we're exposing the lie of hustle culture and trying to find the true balance in terms of working smart versus working hard. And if that sounds like you, this is definitely the episode for you. Welcome back to another fine, delightful episode of the Unplug podcast at episode 43.
Back in the building.
Back in the building, baby. And guys, again, if you're joining us for the first time, shame on you. We are the Unplug podcast, and we are here to help people unplug from the matrix and live life on their own terms.
Indeed. We are for the entrepreneurs. We are for the dreamers.
Tell them again.
We're for the believers.
What?
We are for those who are ready to level up in life, start growing, and make some positive life change.
100%. And guys, please, we are on the journey to 500 subscribers. That means 500 smart people told and said that they are going to send bell notifications to every single time that we've posted. But there are a few small percentage of you guys who are so slow. There are other words I want to use, but we're keeping it PG right now. Clicking the bell. So please, guys, subscribe. It makes so much benefit to us. It makes like the algorithm show us and make sure that you guys are getting all these juicy gems, right? So in today's episode, I want to talk a lot about the hustle culture. Specifically, or especially, shall I say, in the Gen Z kind of culture, there's a big thing on hustle culture. Hustle hard. Like you're seeing entrepreneurs like from 11 months old selling sweets out the pram. Like it's getting out of hand now. So we had to discuss this and let them know there is some form of balance. Like we're all for hustling, we're all for working hard, but there needs to be efficiency with it. So that's what we really wanted to tackle down in today's episode. But first, really kind of like talking about it from a STEM problem now. Why do you think like this hustle culture like even exists? Like where do you think like it even came from?
I think it comes from like an old mindset and mentality that the harder you work, the more you'll achieve. And there's an element of truth to that. But in this day and age now with like social media, the internet, it's not just about working hard. You know, I feel like this whole hustle culture kind of sells the dream. Like I was just saying, like the harder you just keep working hard, grind 24/7. Don't take no days off, sleep when you're dead. But that's not realistic because all that does is cause burnout, anxiety, stress.
100%.
And it's not something that you can maintain over a long period of time.
100%. And I feel like especially with this hustle, especially with this hustle culture, it glorifies the Lambos, the Rolex, the fast cars, the experiences, the holidays, the yachts, all of that. And again, it gives the perception that there's only two ways to do this. I do this like very, very quickly and get this there and done now, or I work for 50, 60 years to get 1% of that. And I think always people like to try to avoid the latter, right? So now that we understand, obviously, that's obviously like a major problem. But why does this actually hurt though? Like, why can't people just simply work? Some people could argue it's simple maths. Like, the harder you work, like the better results you get, right?
Which is some element of truth to that.
But why isn't that actually the case, and why does it actually hurt though?
I've learned in kind of business as an entrepreneur that it doesn't matter how hard you work. Like there's still a period of time that you need to work to become successful. So yeah, you can work hard for a year, but it's still only a year. Your success might come in year 2. It might come in year 5. It might come in year 10. So whilst you can grind 24/7 and burn yourself out, like naturally, whatever you do is going to take time to become successful. And I feel like because of social media, like you said, because of the Lambos, the Ferraris, because of all these people online on social media who look like they're doing well, and if you was to actually see what they do on a day-to-day, it wouldn't be that. It almost feels like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not working hard enough. And it pushes people to want to do more.
100%.
So yeah, I think social media has a massive part to play.
So I totally agree with you. Like, social media doesn't help, and because it gives you access. It gives you access to people at such a granular level, like Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian, Jeff Bezos, and you see their lives, you see their lifestyles, and you think, flip, I'm not doing anything. I'm not working hard enough. I'm not X, Y, and Z, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we're never, ever sort of contemplating or looking at the work that's cost them or has took them to get to where it needs to be. But now just sort of like softly looking into like the mindset shift of this right now, for those of like our audience who are maybe like our younger audience, maybe even this applies to anyone at all ages actually, not even necessarily from an age perspective, but what like specific mindset shift do you think is required to sort of come out of that sort of hustle culture mentality?
Where do I start? Just understanding that the hustle culture, if you really think about it, it's not actually real, because if you work 20 hours a day, 16 hours a day, you're gonna burn out. It's not sustainable. So understand, if I do work like a mad person, like how can I even really sustain this? Is this realistic to, do this for a year, 2 years without actually messing up my mental health, destroying all relationships with anybody who's important to you? That shifting, like really maybe stepping back from what you're actually doing and just asking yourself, is it sustainable? How long can I keep going like this before I burn out? Like, we know it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. There's no problem in wanting to, I don't want to say go slow, but not try and do everything 100 miles per hour. Like, the learning is in the journey. So why are we now going to try and speed up the journey?
110%. And I also think like laziness or balance isn't laziness, it's strategy, right? I feel like taking time out to reassess your situation, to reassess what you're doing is massively important, because I think with hustle culture, you're in it. Like we always say, don't work in your business, work on your business. And I think when you're continuously hustling, right, you never have an opportunity to have a bird's eye perspective. You never have an opportunity to actually zoom out and see what are you actually doing. Are you just sort of like digging in the wrong direction? Or is there like a smarter, more effective way to actually do this? I think hustle culture doesn't account for auditing. It doesn't account for reevaluation. It doesn't account for stepping back. It doesn't account for like growth, time to yourself, self-care. Rest.
Yeah, the need to recharge.
You know what I mean? It's very robotic.
100%.
Right? And I feel like it doesn't account for any of that. But now taking this a bit more personal, right? Where would you say in your life that you realize, cool, hustle culture is actually a facade? This doesn't actually work.
I think when I tried to do like 15-hour days, and I just thought like, I'm trying to push through exhaustion. I'm trying to push through stress, not knowing that when you start to feel like that, that's when you need to stop. Understanding that when I was trying to work like that, I wasn't productive. Like, I was just being busy for being busy sake. And then I had to learn that, you can actually get more done in less time if you just focus on things that are really important. So I kind of learned the importance of like just time blocking and then focusing on things that actually move the needle. I almost feel like when you've got this hustle culture, you haven't grasped, or you still don't understand that there are certain things that need to be done on a specific day, and that might be 3 to 5 things. And once you've done those 3 to 5 things, you've done what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think once I understood that, and that came from just learning how to be more productive, reading books, watching people online, just learning how to work smarter and not harder. Like, that gets thrown around a lot. And I thought, what does that mean? What does it actually mean to work smarter and not harder? Well, it means being more productive. It means making a to-do list, like what are my top 5 things that need to be done, and being okay with those 5 things once they're done.
No, I'm completely with you. I think for me personally, I'm such a culprit of that sort of hustle culture. Like from the ages of early teens to early 20s, I was such a victim of hustle culture. Anyone would tell you Freeman is a guy at any given time, he's working 3 jobs. Like it still sort of like sucks me in sometimes where like I just feel like I need to be doing like 1 in a million things. And then sometimes, or every now and again, I have to like humble myself and give myself a slap around the face to be like, yo, bro, like check yourself. Like you physically aren't capable. You're one man, you're one individual. You can't do it all. And I feel like where it really sort of hit me is because what hustle culture always does, I might be tangent a bit, it gives you like a full set of expectations and reality and hope. Because you look busy, but nothing is moving. It's just like you're just running around in circles.
Noise.
Loads of noise and faff. And you think you're running straight forward, you're making distance, but you're actually just running around in circles. And because you've not stopped to realize you're running around in circles, you've been running around in circles for an hour thinking, yeah, I've actually made a lot of leeway. And you're like, no, I've only moved a meter, right? And I feel like that is the delusion that hustle culture has. It gives you the false perception that you're actually doing something. And in reality, you're not doing much. And if you actually sit back and plan and like you work a lot more effectively, or like the word is smarter, you can actually strategize and you can do things in like small chunks. And obviously, I think you gave it on another episode about the sort of like the analogy of like the hare and the
Tortoise.
Tortoise.
Yes.
Tortoise, right? Again, I feel like that's a very sort of like similar analogy in the sense of like people just thinking like, yeah, they can just move super, super fast. And when people just simply just taking their time, reevaluating everything that needs to be done, strategizing, and just being like very like clinical with what you want to do massively helps. And I'm sure like people like you guys listening at home right now, you probably find like your best ideas, I don't know about you guys anyway, but even for myself, my best ideas are actually found out when I'm not working, when my brain is in rest, when I'm working, when I'm in leisure, when I'm having like quote unquote fun, right? That is when like my most like amazing, like, oh, hold on, I can actually do this and that. But yeah, I think that's just a bit of me. Like I don't want to sort of tangent on.
Yeah, no worries. Guys, well, like, as you know, we're about kind of practical steps. And I feel like to implement a practical step, there needs to be some type of mindset shift. So we want to give you some mindset shifts on how you can now implement a few things that can maybe make you look at how you were looking at that hustle culture. Maybe you thought, actually, I need to be grinding. You know, we're now going to show you and explain to you how you can kind of make that shift and realize that there is another way.
100%. The first thing is redefining productivity, right? And you need to focus on outcome, not hours worked. Right, to do what needs to be done if it can be done in 2 to 3 hours, it is done. Simply, that's your day done and dusted. You can get on with anything else and like your health and etc. But like, you know, the mentality of thinking you need to work 15 hours on top of your normal 9 to 5 and then having to do the 5 to 9 is just like ludicrous.
Cool. You said redefine. I'm going to redefine success because a lot of people redefine success, like you said, as, you know, working super hard, working those 16, 18-hour days. I think for me, redefining success is about working smarter. So it's about having systems in place. It's about, you know, if you run your own business, hiring staff where you can. It's about delegating. It's about just running your business and yourself at optimal level and more efficiently as well. You know, and understanding that, 24 grind is not sustainable. It's not healthy. And it will only lead to burnout.
100%. I think just segueing nicely off that, John said not healthy. I think prioritizing your health as well. If you're not sleeping well enough, if you're not eating good, if you're not exercising, your body physically can't function. It physically can't do any more than you'd like it to do. So if you want the most optimal form of creativity, of deep work, and of focus, you need to feed your body with rest and nutrition and with food. So I think that's like a massive thing. I know for me, that was massively a game changer in terms of actually trying to get like the most maximum forms of like output for myself.
And I think lastly for me, guys, is understand you need to play the long game. I think Nipsey Hussle said it. He said it's a marathon, bro.
Yeah.
This is not an overnight thing. So don't just think, you know, this 24/7 grind is going to make you successful overnight. Like, we are here for the long game. Play the long game. Build sustainable systems. You know, work on yourself. It's not about, you know, grind. You'll just burnout. It just leads to burnout cycles, guys. So play the long game. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
110%. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that episode. Standardly, this is the part of the show called Plug Bites. This is where John and myself talk about some quotes, some paragraphs, some bits and pieces of text from a book or whatever that we feel like would massively relate to you guys and be super, super impactful. Cool. My plug bite is from Gabrielle Judge, and it says, logging off at 5 isn't laziness, it's a boundary. And I sort of want to just take this just sort of slightly further out for like our entrepreneurs who maybe don't have a 9 to 5. But I think the key word I want you guys to focus on is boundary, right? Like there needs to be a time you switch off your phone. There needs to be a time where you have family time. There needs to be a time where you have self-care and just time for yourself. So have those boundaries in place. Like I live by my calendar. So whether it's, you have your time in the morning where you read your book and you have your time to yourself, you gym, you meditate, whatever it may be, and then you have your core work in the middle of the day, and then evening is family time. But whatever it may be, set your boundaries and respect your boundaries.
Cool. I like that. Cool. My one reads, killing yourself with overwork is not something to be proud of. And I feel, like I said, that whole hustle culture is, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. Like, that's not something to be proud of. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're hustling every day, you're not really efficient. If you're grinding, if you run a business, you've created yourself a job. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're working them long hours, you don't have a business, my friend, you have a job. So grinding is not something to be proud of. Working hard and working smart is something to be proud of. So if we can just shift the way we look at success, then it will make such a big difference.
110%. 100%. But guys, as always, I really, really hope you appreciate that episode. Please make sure you're liking, you're subscribing. And as always, make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell his mistress. Please tell her.
Please.
Please. And thank you.
We need some subs.
Road to 500, guys. And as always, love.
Elevate.